Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Randy Wolfe, and in this video today, I'm going to talk about how you can retire early investing in real estate. So let's dive in. So think about this for a moment. The first thing I will tell you is if you are a young person watching this video, you are at a huge advantage. Now, if you're an older person, don't fret. There's ways that you can retire early too. But for this video, I'm going to tailor this video to my younger audience. So I would say the number one thing that's important for the younger audience is to understand you need to start doing this immediately. Start investing as soon as you are possibly able to. So for the purpose of this, we're going to say that someone is getting ready to turn 25 years old and they're going to start investing in real estate. We're also going to say that the goal is to retire early. And it's important to understand what your goals are and understand why you're doing this, because at the end of the day, when I coach people, that's a big thing that I dig into, because your goal is going to determine what path you should take. Not everybody is going to do what I'm about to advise, because again, their goal might be getting cash flow as quickly as possible so that they can leave their job or something like that, which would be a totally different path. But if your goal here is to, again, retire early, at 25 years old, you would buy, let's say in this example, your first property. And then you would continue to buy one property per year until you are 30 years old. And 30, you'd buy one property too. So that would be 6 properties starting at when you're 25 years old to 30. Then at 31 years old, you would buy 2 properties. At 32 years old, you would buy 2 properties. At 33 years old, you would buy 3 properties. At 34, you would buy 4 properties. And finally, at 35 years old, you would buy 5 properties. Now, if your math is tracking here, that means at 35 years old, you would now own 22 properties. And you really weren't getting crazy with buying properties. Like when I talk about buying 1 property a year, to someone that's not an investor, that sounds kind of crazy, let alone talking about buying 5 houses in 1 year. Like that sounds like insane. But once you start investing in real estate, you'll understand it's really not. I talk on this channel a lot about how to, use private money, how you use hard money to fix things up and then refinance out. I talk about the BRRRR strategy. In fact, if you want to learn more about that, comment below the word wealth in the comments, and I'll send you a free guide that talks all about how you can do the BRRRR strategy and buying the right properties. But for the purpose of this, understand that that's not crazy. And also for the purpose of this, because the goal is to retire early, all of these properties that you're going to buy would be put on a 15-year mortgage. So a 15-year mortgage is what you're going to put these on. Now, when you do that, the properties are not going to cash flow as good as they would with a 30-year mortgage, right? But again, your goal is different. You want to retire early. So if you do that, and if you follow that track, it's slow, but it's steady, all right? By the time you are 50 years old, 50, you will own 22 free and clear properties. And again, that's if you stop buying properties at 35. Let's just say you just stop, like I'm not buying any more properties then. If you own 22 free and clear properties, and those properties were valued at $350,000 each, because think about it, we're talking about in the future now. So we're talking about quite a few years into the future. Hopefully they're worth a lot more than $350,000. Okay, but I'm just going to use a conservative number and say $350,000. That means that you would own approximately $7.7 million of free and clear real estate at 50 years old. Now, marinate on that for a minute. 7.7 million bucks of free and clear real estate. You could retire at that point. There's so many things that you could actually do with $7.7 million worth of real estate. You could literally, if you wanted to, do a cash out refi on that first property, and you could start the process of 15-year mortgages, one property at a time each year. You could refi. And so think about it. If a property's worth $350,000, you could literally just refinance $200,000, or you could put debt on it for $200,000, get $200,000 tax free. You're not going to pay taxes on it because it's debt, and you could just do that year after year. Every year you could finance one house, and you could do that. you could end up using those houses as cross collateralization, and you could end up leveraging those houses to open up lines of credit to where you could then, potentially buy more houses to fix up and then refinance out of. You would have it 22 houses free and clear. You would end up be looking at a substantial amount of you'd probably looking at minimum $50,000 a month in rent. I mean, I haven't really done the math on that part yet, but yeah, if you had, let's just say you had those houses that were getting $2,000 a month in rent, because remember, we're talking about in the future, that wouldn't be unrealistic. You'd be 44 grand worth of rent if you just kept them as rentals and didn't do anything. So that just gives you an idea of how you can retire early leveraging real estate. Now, there's a ton of other ways to do it, and that's just one. But it's one of the reasons why I love real estate, is there's a lot of different ways to accomplish your goals in real estate. And that's just one of many. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel. I'm putting out content almost every day now, and I would love to have you subscribe. And if you're interested in learning more about investing in real estate, if you want to work with me personally, I'll put a link in the description below. There'll be some opportunities there. I have a private community, and at the time of this recording, that community is full, but I am offering a 90-day coaching program, and I'm excited to roll that out, and those members actually get free access into the community. So if that's something you're interested in, check out. There'll be something in the description below. But as always, I appreciate you watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.